All right, making summer sausage. So what I'm gonna need here, FLC. These are different cultures. I'm adding a starter culture. I added a half teaspoon of this lukewarm water. That's pretty much room temperature water, not really lukewarm. And needs to wake up. Kind of like a yeast would wake up. It's a living culture. It's been in the freezer. It needs to warm up and wake up. About 20 or 30 minutes will be just fine for it. Next thing we need is I got these big casings because I'm making big fatty sausages. We're making some chubbies here today. Got some fresh water, some room temperature water. It's not hot, it's not cold, but it is fresh water. Alright, here's my spices for my summer sausage. I'll be using salt, Instacure number 1, which is sodium nitrite. Non-fat dry milk as a binder. I'll be adding some dextrose. The dextrose is a food for our culture, which we'll be adding. Got nutmeg. Don't buy it ground if you can avoid it. Got allspice. Got some garlic powder. Whole peppercorns. Mustard seed. And coriander seed. So I'm going to weigh up my whole seeds and I'm going to toast those before I grind them. And then I'm going to weigh everything up. Recipe will be in the description. For this summer sausage, I'm using pork and beef. I'm using 60% pork and 40% beef. So you can see I add a little back fat. This lean has a lot of marbled fat. I don't know if you can see this, but so word about this, I get a half cow freezer beef, and I had them make, instead of grinding the trim, I had them just give me the trim. Now, if you don't have trim just like this, you could cut up just lean and add fat. You could go for a fatty piece like a brisket or even a chuck roast. Probably have about a good 80-20. We're going for 25 to 30% fat. So same on this pork lean. I got a pig and I butchered it. And so this is trim, but you could get a ham or whatever's cheap. Boston butt is great because it pretty much has the right fat percentage on its own. Or you could get a ham and add back fat. Another important thing about the meat is I've just taken this out of the freezer. It's important that it's below freezing. 30 degrees, even like 28, 29. Much colder than that can be a little hard on your grinder. So it's important that it stays cold through this whole process. That's one of the most important things of any sausage making. Got my grinder parts in the freezer chilling, so I'll be right back with those. This is the word on gloves. Yeah, I use these cotton gloves underneath these other gloves for this because 1, the meat's very cold. I don't want my hands to freeze. 2, my hands are warm. I don't really want to warm up this meat. It's important that it stays cold. So I have the plunger in here just to keep the meat, so I don't, when I turn it on, it's not automatically having to work. But I'm going to not use the plunger, you'll see here. We're just going to let the grinder, I'm just going to let it feed what, we're going to let it grind when we're drying. We're not going to push it through. And that's going to give us this nice, heavily, very defined grind, which is exactly what we're looking for. That warmed it up a little bit. It's still 31 degrees. Basically, I want this summer sausage. It's not quite an emulsified sausage, almost emulsified. Emulsified being like a hot dog where the fat and the proteins and the liquid have all become one. You can't really, there's no particle definition. Kind of what I'm going for here. Not 100%, but I don't want it to be super defined like in a sausage. So I'm going to grind it twice. We're going to go through a finer course here. I believe this is like a 6. This grinder just has 2 plates. So. Lots of spices here. That's the binder too, the non-fat milk powder. Now I'm going to take my starter culture. I gotta get out before my hands get too sticky. I'm gonna take one of these gloves off and go get my cheese and peppers. It's starting to come together. It's almost sticky. See, it's starting to stick to my hand. I want it to get a little bit more. And I got here is peppers. jalapenos. Now, when I made my jalapeno popper sausages, I ground these peppers, ground them in with the through the grinder with the meat. But I want this sausage to be studded with the jalapenos when you cut through a slice, so that's why I'm doing it this way. Now I got cheddar cheese. A lot of people use the high temperature cheese. You know, this might melt a little bit during the smoking process, but I think it'll cool back down and it'll still be studded with cheese, which is what I'm going for. Studded. See, it almost starts to get furry. I'm starting to want to pull my gloves off. It's sticking really well. So I'm going to say, you know, that's pretty much done. You know, undermix it, won't bind together well, but if you overmix it, I'm going to make it tough and dry it out. Do is grab handfuls. I'm going to try to push the air out as I load it. Okay, I got my camera set up on backwards. Alright, so I'm going to just squeeze this air out as best I can. Load this tight because we don't really want air coming through. Yeah, I can tell this is going to be awesome. So there's some water on there. Water up the horn. It's always a little bit weird. Gotta have a little bit of a humor to make sausage, you know. I'm just going to put a couple of little holes in this end. So any air that's in there should come out. I'm holding pretty firm grip on this one because these casings are fairly indestructible. I really want to get tight as I can. Alright. I'm going to do the other one. I'll bring you back when I'm tying them up. I'll let it cool. Now I'm going to take this. I'm just going to twist the hell out of it. Try to get as tight as I can. Hopefully I already stuffed it pretty tight. Seems like I did okay. I'm going to take my string, put my thumb on it. So, got a double knot. Flip it over. Do a double knot on this side. Okay. The last thing I'm going to do, any air holes. Yeah, I'm just going to prick holes around here anyway. I don't think the cheese will melt out of it. What tends to happen, what I've noticed anyway, it seems like the protein, the emulsion kind of fills the holes. So one last thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to wrap this up. This is my tester piece. I got it out of, there's always a little left at the end of your sausage hopper, stuffer. A tight little ball out of it, wrapped in plastic. These need to ferment in 90% humidity. Use controllers, made a box, put humidifiers in there and heating elements. But I like the trick. Eric with Two Guys in the Cooler, excellent channel. I've learned a lot. Very informative guy. But I've just started wrapping these up. Or in this case, I'll probably just cover this thing. Just stick this in here, and I'll stick it in my oven with the light on. That keeps it about right. Now this particular starter culture actually has a very wide range. It's either, you will lower the pH slowly at a colder temperature, 70 to 90 or something. And then this actually goes up to 115, 90 to 115, will give you a more acidic fermentation faster. Although that said, the amount of sugar added also has a big effect on it. And these have quite a bit of sugar because I want them to be very tangy. That's what I'm going for. Which is why I'm going to put them in my oven with the light on. Alright, let's see, it should take maybe about 24 to 30 hours. I'll start checking in like 20 probably. Alright, check it out. Do this again since my other camera died. So, if you could smell this, smells delicious. Here's my piece I tested. Yeah, right down around 4.8. You know, last time I had it down a little lower. Oh, look, it's lower over there. It's a lot lower over there. That's interesting. Well, we're definitely in the range we want to be in. So I'm gonna go put this out on my smoker. Finally got a clean smoke because I'm running a little hotter, closer to 180, almost 200. It's very hard to run a clean smoke when you're just keeping it at very cold temperatures like 125. I'm looking for like 145. I'll take 143 though. Hold on a sec. All right, 146. Let's take a look. Oh my gosh, they're beautiful. Amazing color on this. This one's a little tighter. I can tell I stuffed that one better, but it's gonna be fine. What I'm gonna do here is just cover these with water. Slow down to stop their cooking. Summer sausage took 6 hours. And then I'm just gonna hang these up just in my living room here. I'm just gonna hang them up for a few hours to dry. They call it blooming to help develop the color. And then I'm gonna put it in my curing chamber somehow or another. Curing chamber is getting pretty full. Definitely learning what it really takes to to fit an animal in a refrigerator. Honestly, I have some hams that have been in there for a year. It's getting a little crazy. Guanciale's on the rack. I just got stuff hanging. I got salamis, I got hams. Here, I'll show you through this bottom door. You can really see what we got going. Pretty excited about this summer sausage. Oh man, it smells good. I hope it's every bit as good as the beef one. That's what inspired me. The jalapeno cheddar one I made with all beef was so good. Here, let's see if we can get a good look at it. See, we got our cheese prominent. You can see some peppers. But at the end of the day, let's see how it tastes. Oh yeah, good view at that. That's a beautiful thing. That is just a beautiful thing. Mm-hmm. Man, that is a good summer sausage. It's every bit as good as the all beef one. I'm not gonna say it's better. That beef one, I don't know. The beef with jalapeno cheddar is just a great combo. But this beef and pork summer sausage it's every bit as good. It's just such good quality meat. The jalapeno cheddar is just one of my favorite combinations. And the tanginess you get from that low pH ferment, letting it go a little lower than many salamis. You know, there's plenty of jalapeno and cheddar that you get some in every bite. And that tanginess, the tanginess from going extra low on the ferment. A lot of people make summer sausage using encapsulated citric acid, and then it mimics this ferment pretty well. But it does exactly that. It mimics it pretty well. It's not the real thing. This real fermented summer sausage, it's next level. If you haven't tried fermenting foods, I highly recommend trying it. It's a delicious hobby to have. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like this kind of content, subscribe to my channel. Put some love into your food. Peace.